Hello, good morning. The deaths in the Middle East is an atrocity. The United States is indiscriminately killing Iranians, murdering them. People all over the Middle East, oh Jesus Christ, people in the Caribbean, people, you know what I mean? Like, this has been going on nonstop all year, but now it's escalating exponentially. Uh, I posted a quick short. A lot of this is for me is stream of consciousness, stupid shit. Maybe I have a thought and I spit it out. But it was my thoughts on Congress and why they're not going to back down now. And their excuse is that the region is destabilized and American troops are in danger. That situation is going to be the situation for the end of time now. I mean, once we go in and destabilize the region, now it's destabilized. And now our troops are forever in harm's way. And that will be the excuse that they use to keep them there and keep the place destabilized and keep putting people in harm's way. And it will go on for decades. Unfortunately, the number of Middle Eastern deaths will not move the needle with Congress. They don't care. They don't care. We've seen that for the last several years with the other country that I can't. Naming countries gets. I don't know what. What is that? I don't know if it's necessarily a suppression. But I feel like we all know what the hell's going on. And so do we all need to spell it out? Anyway, I apologize. I haven't acknowledged the death toll. That number, it's probably different now. It's more. And it will be more in 4 hours. And it will be more in 10 more hours. I would encourage folks that would like people like me who, if you need me to say something specific, then you need to make a video and post it yourself and say something specific. If I can come out here and put my busted mug out here, and so can you. What the hell, man? The other thing, giving the Red Hat crew a soft place to land, the ones that are bailing, changing their minds or whatever, they regret their vote. Why? This is everything they wanted. The racism isn't gonna go away. They voted for the racism and the cruelty. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. So now that, I don't know, I guess gas is up and, their golden calf is proven to be the liar that he absolutely is. I don't know. There's a lot of noise on the other side of that. And it's great big wide swath too. So you can't, it's not just right or left. You got, the bulwark isn't a fucking left or progressive. Those guys are mostly ex-Republicans. Don't get me wrong, there's not a whole bunch of those, but those people who believe in limited government because they want, what does that mean? Private industry? You want private big business to provide us all with public utilities, right? Limited government means there are no public utilities or services, that we all need to go to some private company because that middleman has to get his bag. They want private healthcare, they want private education, for profit. That's the clincher. That's what matters. Private food, regulation, all of that. It needs to be capitalized. Somebody needs to be able to make money off of that. So that's what limited government means, is they want all of us to pay exponentially more to some billionaire somewhere. Too many thoughts. Too many thoughts. A soft place to land. They don't need that. Here's why. They were fine. They somehow got themselves enough momentum and community and motion the last 10 years. They were fine without my support. They didn't need me to help them do all of this. So they don't need me to help them undo it. They have enough power and resources, and they banged that drum for a decade. So, no. 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 They'll be fine. They can start a support group. They'll be fine. I'm sure somebody already has. I left the house yesterday and went and picked up seed potatoes. Not like that's... Anyway, I'm just telling you because they were in stock. And you should plan ahead. This is a rambling stream of consciousness. I'm sure, like every last one of us, we are frustrated to no end. Call the representatives, send them more emails. Vote November. I know, everybody. Oh, if we can't, stop that. Stop just, what is that, conceding before we're even there. Stop doing that. Of course we're voting. Of course we're voting. The GOP has to get elected. What, they're just not going to vote? There are local elections. Besides that, all elections are local anyway. The federal government doesn't get to do that. And a judge is going to force every 50 state plus all of the little, what do we call those? They're commonwealths? They're not commonwealths. They're the colonies that we allow to vote. You know, people, this might get too long. I don't know if I want to get into this, but people compare the situation that we're in right now to World War II. That's true. I mean, for good, for good reason. But I think we all need to examine World War I a little harder. I think the similarities there are much more keen. And the truth is, World War II wasn't the first time there were camps. Concentrations of people rounded up, forced to work until they're starved to death or they die from disease. That's a very old invention from imperial powers. And it makes me wonder, so humankind knew that it was going on, but they looked the other way because it was so easy to other people. The same reason why Congress, that the death toll in the Middle East is not going to move the needle for Congress. They don't care. And I don't know. I don't know what, I don't, it won't be the money. None of that. That won't matter to them. They'll keep, it's like this dumbass sunk cost fallacy where, well, we've put this much into it. We better just keep throwing money at it, and lives and bodies and people and communities and entire cities leveled. I don't know. I'm personally, I think for Americans, it needs to and should get much harder. Much harder. I think $10 gallon of gas is what we deserve. 12, 15, 20, I don't know, start walking. That's how I feel about that. You can't afford food? Figure it out. You all want to pretend you're fucking Daniel Boone? Go to. Do it. Figure it out. Like, really? That rugged individualism crowd that pull yourself up by your bootstraps and they all want to run back and we're supposed to give them community. Stop it. Stop. And it's too soon. It's too soon. If you are familiar with addiction and recovery, people need a year. From the date of, onset of sobriety, at least a minimum of a year before they're supposed to be making major life decisions. So you can't trust them. They're going to go back to something. I need a track record. That's called tough love. I was raised on that. So choke on it, I guess. This is where I'm at. I don't know, man. They didn't need coddling before. What the fuck? Why do they need it now? They'll be fine. There are other people out here who need your support. Food banks, or people who are homeless, elders alone, fuel prices, thank God it's spring, but come summer, that's going to be a doozy. Oh my good Lord. Do you know how many tornadoes broke out just last night? And then, the day before there were some in Michigan? Is that normal? Does Michigan normally have tornadoes? I'm not familiar with that, but that's not usually the reputation I think of when I think of Michigan. Oh, tornadoes. It's going to get very expensive. Right? It already is. It will get more expensive. I hear the post office is going to run out of money inside of a year. That makes sense. That's what happens. I don't know. Maybe we just won't have that anymore. And maybe that's what we deserve. Not maybe. Really. A hard fucking lesson. God knows we won't learn it. That people will just get more entrenched or more angry or I don't know, man. Look, and I'm not in, and yeah. Just because I don't welcome them with open arms doesn't mean that I'm entrenched or I'm holding ground or I'm not giving in. There's a difference between being a support to your community and just being a doormat. That's not what I'm here for. They, wiped their shoes all over us after they got done kicking us in the teeth. And now they want us to be their soft, cozy blanket. I'm not that. I was never any of those two things. So I can't be that now. I guess I'm not vibrating at the right whatever frequency. That's fine. I'm going to stop talking now. Try and get outside. I'm glad you're here. I am. I'm very grateful. You have a good day.